Chicks Prison Story family, salute y'all. It's your boy Snow. I'm back here with another one. Couldn't even believe what I seen uploaded the other day. I wanted to do this a little bit quicker. But life is what it is. You get a little bit busy sometimes. But there's a channel on YouTube. Make sure I get this right. The channel's called Hustler Spirit. Hustler Spirit pulled a rabbit out his hat, ace out the hole, however you want to say it, because I couldn't believe what I seen. I had a few people send it to me, and I actually seen it across my YouTube at the same time, so that was pretty legit. He got the actual Booty Warrior from Lockup Raw, MSNBC, the man that is on Boondocks cartoons. I mean, one of the most notorious inmates ever. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit. I'm going to run this for about a minute. For those of you that do not know who the Booty Warrior is, I'll be shocked. But let's just check it out, all right?
But when Lockup visited Kentucky State Penitentiary, we met Fleece Johnson, a longtime inmate who practices a very different kind of homosexuality.
But we have sexual desires, right? So you got a bunch of men locked up in one place. All of them get hard. All of them's horny. All of them got sexual desires. So what are they going to do? If you won't let them have a woman, they going to have each of somebody's going to have to give us some booty. And it's just that simple.
The most memorable story that Fleece told us was about the place and importance that booty has in a maximum security penitentiary. And he went on about it and on about it.
In his prison, booty was more important than food. Booty, a man's butt. It was more important. I'm sorry. It was more booty, having some booty was more important than drinking water, man. I like booty.
Johnson went on to tell our crew how he used to satisfy his sexual desires, especially during the 1970s and 80s, when he was most active and prison security was more lax.
When I see one, and he looks good to me, when I go see him, I say, you come here. I say, I'm telling you what, I like you, and I want you. And we can do it the easy way or the hard way. So the choice is yours, right? And it was always yes.
Johnson also had a warning for the new generation of inmates. They might be asking for trouble from old-timers.
You know, they got this thing where they sag their pants past their butt. It's a style. They call it some sort of gangster style. You know, it's sexy to us, right? And see, but they weren't prepared for this, right? So you sag your pants in her, man, somebody be up in your butt, you know? And it's just that simple.
Johnson even let the lockup crew know that when he was in his prime, they wouldn't be safe from his advances either.
If y'all had been in her back then in them days, and as much as I like booty, I'd probably felt one of y'all butts. And y'all was walking past me and dared you to say something. I'm not no shame in my game. It's just nothing that I'm ashamed to admit. I am what I am. I'm a warrior too, you know, so let that be known. I'm a warrior.
All right, so that was just for y'all that's not familiar with this fella. And somebody said in the comments they don't see how I can keep a straight face. Man, I almost couldn't keep a straight face. Let me be honest with you. There really are a lot of men like Fleece Johnson. It's not as prevalent in the new days as it is in the old days. And I can explain to you, I'll talk to you a little bit about why that changed, okay? And why things are like they are in Texas. You know, I didn't realize in the federal system, I didn't realize in California and a lot of other places that they don't do their inmate heart checks. You hear about 1090 Jake and them dudes talking about all that weirdo stuff that they do in Florida with that test of heart, which is basically your initiation or whatever to see, if you can stay. In Texas, they do something called a heart check. The majority of the inmates on any hardcore real ID prison or whatever is going to have to fade that. When I did mine, it was fighting my partner Southwest and Blue in the cell. So I had to go in there 2-on-1 or whatever. Okay. Girl Mud, what's up, brother? I hope you got that thing I left you in the comments. But anyway, listen, what they do in Texas, all white guys have to go through something called a wood check. Okay. What the wood check is you have to fight a couple other peckerwoods, white guys, they call them. What that is a bonding experience, basically. Okay. You come through, you pass your wood check, and it's letting everybody know that you're a solid dude, you're a stand-up guy. Them exact same dudes that checked you, that whooped your ass, that made you go fight, will be the exact same guys not letting the booty warrior take nothing from you. If you're Hispanic, if you're in a gang, of course you got to go through your initiation or whatever. Same thing. Booty warrior ain't touching no man in a prison gang. He's not touching no man cool with his homeboys. He's picking and choosing solo guys that wouldn't do the heart check, guys that call themselves wanting to get out, not get in trouble, little kids and shit like that. I want everybody watching this to ask yourself, with that booty warrior and how he's talking, how would he do going up against somebody like Mr. Larry? 3 bodies already. You think Larry's going to let that tough talk bother him when he's got a fucking glove with brass knuckles sewed in it and he's got a big ass shank ready to ride? Hell no. Booty warrior wouldn't even try that with Larry. He'd go over there and smoke a cigarette with him and give him some coffee and then go pick on somebody else. You understand? We always talk about a lot of penitentiary shit. Your entire state can come down from your first day to your first week. First impressions are a motherfucker. That's why guys go in there with their chest up, head up, chest out, looking for it. Because they know if they get it at first, it'll be easier the rest of the time. You cannot be scared inside of a setting like that. With people that will bully you, shit like that. But at the same time, if you're somebody that has some people, your people ain't gonna let this type of shit go on. Not at all. So when I seen Booty Warrior first, I really didn't know to take this man serious. Was it comedy? Is this a joke? Is he fucking serious or what? And I will admit, in a lot of the southern penitentiaries, a lot of that homosexual activity is prevalent. It's out in the open. Texas is not one of those places, but I know Louisiana it is. Alabama, a few other Florida, some of them, man, it's okay for them to have a girlfriend wide out in the open. It's just not okay to be the girlfriend. How crazy is that? But you better believe a whole bunch of them, if there's a boyfriend, there's got to be a girlfriend. Y'all know what I'm saying. So anyway, with what Fleece did, he broke his silence and actually talked more about why he did what he did, why he said what he said, and all of that. And it was actually a kind of surprise to me. And I'm going to let him talk about it a little bit because I was pretty shocked. I ain't going to lie. And I got it for you right here. And shout out to the channel that did this. I shouted out when we first started. Dude pulled the rabbit out the hole, man. Check this out.
So Fleece, everybody wants to know about how did you end up on Lock Up Raw on MSNBC?
Yeah, I'll tell you that. First of all, I was in prison. I was causing mayhem, and then I eventually laid down. So they had what you call a skirt straight program. Bring juveniles in there, scare them, tell them shit that'll deter them from getting in trouble. You come to prison, you gonna be my boy, all that shit, right? Well, I was the one that can break them all down, make them cry and all this shit, right? So I forgot about all the damage I did in prison before I laid down. the $200 million lawsuit that came against the state and all that stuff. The hatred there, right, towards me. So MSNBC come in and the warden asked me to do a documentary for all the juveniles in America, worldwide. And at that time, like I said, I didn't think I was gonna ever get out of prison. I mean, I'm going on 40, I'm 30 something years in. So I said, fuck it. Maybe I could do a little good and help somebody, right? So I told him, I said, when I do this documentary, I ain't gonna tell them the shit that their parents told them. Stay out of trouble, you end up in prison. They done heard all this shit. This shit don't register. What I'm gonna tell them is gonna shock their conscience.
All right, sorry the audio is a little bit low, y'all. This is how it was originally uploaded. There's nothing I can do about it. So that was as far as I've actually watched into this video. I didn't want to watch any more so I can naturally react. But what he just told us right there is he was over 30 years in prison, and he was part of the Scared Straight program. If you don't know what Scared Straight is, that's where they bring in troubled youths, mostly youths that are on probation, getting ready to go to youth prison, youth authority, or whatever. That's pretty much going to be one of their last steps of freedom. Go deal with the inmates, get scared, or they'll let them work in the field for a couple hours, put on the clothes, get in the cell, eat the chow, and they'll have inmates exactly like Fleece Johnson. It's purely their job to scare you, terrify you, and make you not want to come. Okay, so I had no idea, and I don't think the world knew that Fleece Johnson was treating this interview like a Scared Straight program, which is actually highly commendable and highly respectable. And I asked myself, even if he's the booty warrior, he likes butts and it's more important than water, why would you come on TV and make yourself look bad like that? I was thinking mental illness or something. Maybe the dude is crazy. Maybe he's nuts. No, he was actually trying to be a hero in a weird way, because look what in the comments said, he put fear in their heart. It worked. That shit worked for a lot of people because there really are men like that. But as I explained to you, you don't really have to deal with them. You know what I mean? If you don't want to, if you're a stand-up dude, people ain't gonna let this happen to you. Now you get in some drug debts, you get caught lying, you do some other shit, your homeboys might let old Fleece get you. But other than that, that's why shit works like it is. And there's cars and there's programs and politics. So Fleece was doing this like a Scared Straight program. That's pretty cool. And again, I apologize about the low audio. Let's go see what he's got to say, because I have not seen any of this myself.
It's gonna make them think twice before they do shit. It's gonna make them think twice before they take time for somebody else. So that's why I did it. The documentary. I went on and did a documentary. I had no idea when I did this documentary that I would ever get out of prison, that all these other sites was gonna come aboard and take what I did and put it in a negative light, trying to make me look like I was just a predator. And like I said, yeah, I like ass. And to me, ass is ass. It don't make no difference to me where it comes from. You get 30 years in prison, you don't care about where your booty come from. You tired of jack.
All right, Mr. Fleece. So here's what I'm getting from this, y'all. He's now regretting putting that out in public, okay? Because he said he looked like a predator. Well, hell yeah, you look like a predator. Either two things happen here. Either you're a hell of a predator or you're a hell of an actor. But one thing I want to tell you, Mr. Johnson, and if anybody knows him, send this video. Don't be ashamed about your true self, homie. If that's really what you do, how you are, if you'll really take something, booty's booty is more important than water, whatever, however you feel about it, that's just you, man. Hey, I will tell you myself, thank you for putting it out there though, because I know for a fact that helped a bunch of kids, a bunch of young men, stuff like that. The scene that didn't want to go. Fleece was having stories about ripping toilets out the wall. I believe he's a big man. He's not a little guy. You know what I'm saying? So he should actually be proud. He said they took what he done and put it in a negative light. Okay. Well, they take what I do and put it in a negative light at all times too, because it's a prison genre, prison topic, and I'm associated with a bunch of goofy ass dudes that do weird shit in this genre. But I keep pushing forward with my message. You understand? So it just is what it is. Point blank, period. You did some good to this world, Fleece. With that weird, strange commentary that you gave, that look on your face when you hit that cigarette, I didn't realize it was a scared straight program, homie. You had me in my house reaching for my shank. Like, no, this ain't fixing to go down. You know what I mean? So don't worry about it now, Fleece. That's what I'm getting that little vibe from you right now, that you might regret what you did. But what you did is gonna live forever, homie. And there's very few people that can say they've done anything in this world that's gonna live forever, if nothing else.
Backing off, you tired of looking at Smoke magazine. You ready to fuck something. And I was ready.
What about did you ever watch your character on Boondocks?
I very seldom watched that. I watched a little of it, but it aggravated me because it's not my character. It's portraying me as somebody I'm not, right? I don't have to run up on no motherfucker asking for no booty. It's a known fact where I was locked up, I got pussy while I was locked up. Yeah. And it'll be another story I'll tell you about. But right now, back to this. Uh, no.
You never seen it. You never watched the episode.
I was that fucker that put that shit out.
Mhm.
I forgot his name. But I can't stand him right to this day, right?
So look, if I'm getting that proper, he didn't give permission to the Boondocks to do what he did. And it don't sound like he made $1 off of it. That is a shame. Okay. Somebody said, why am I giving this dude a platform? Well, it's my platform and I wanted to talk about it. That's all. That's the beauty of having a platform, my man. You can put anything you want on it, good or bad. But listen, Fleece, obviously they never thought he was going to get out either. I want to say he did about the exact same time as Mr. Larry. But you understand, Mr. Larry didn't have one story about bending boys over. Mr. Larry didn't have one story about none of that shit. He would tell you about it happening. He'd tell you who the most likely victims are and when it happened all the time. But see, Fleece was a different character, and he comes from a different environment where it was not as frowned upon. But then he goes on right there, continuing to how he had women. He had women guards and he had boys in prison. So in our reality, he's worried about looking in a bad light, but he's coming out now exposing himself again as a deviant. You understand? Obviously, Spartan, what's up, cuz? Obviously, Artie, salute everybody. I'm sorry I'm ignoring the comments right now. Oh, he's just a deviant, period. I don't even know what the man was doing in prison. But there's a lot of people like that also, to where, hey, booty is booty. But I'm here to tell you, what you talking about? Booty ain't booty. That don't even make no sense to a straight man. And again, no disrespect to you. If that's what you like, hey, I appreciate you putting this out here, Fleece, because even though you're trying to clean it up right now, you're putting yourself back in the mud. Be careful. Let's see.
And he took me and put me in a negative light to try to generate a lot of money and talk. But what he did is it hurted me because I go up for parole, I cuss him out. Cause I didn't think I was gonna ever get out, so I told him suck my dick, fuck you, fuck Frankfurt, fuck all you motherfuckers. Kicked the chair over, walked out of the parole room. And they told me that same day, you got parole.
The same day you kicked over the table.
Yeah, and cussed them out. They said I had parole. Because they had something set up for me out here. They done took my documentary and then edited it and then put it in a negative light, right? So they want me to feel this when I get out. I done caused them so much trouble in prison. So they want to show me that they're going to give it back to me when they put me on the streets, right? So every time I get a job, this shit'll come up. The booty man. Motherfuckers taking their ass and all this shit. And motherfuckers would fire me right on the spot. When they do background checks,
All right, so look, here's where shit gets real. Fleece and them stories you was telling, even if they was past, you already said they were real. Just you had changed a little bit, calmed down or whatever. Okay. You never thought you was gonna make it home, so you did tell the stories to try to save the world. Much respect for that. But now you're telling us how it ruined your life. Now that you're out here, you can't get a job. Nobody wants to hire you. Things like that. But check this out. All them years you were serving in there, imagine the men's lives that you ruined taking their booty. Think about that. This is a multi-dimensional thing, and I'm watching. This is my first time watching this, and it's easy to freeze frame people and pick things apart. Okay, Felice, you raped men. You made men your girl unwillingly sometimes. Don't you think you got some bad karma coming on you, Fleece? Hey, because it's not Vegas. What you do there stays there. You do things in the penitentiary, there's 1,500, 2,000, sometimes 3,500 men on this unit that hear about you, know what you're doing. They might be on the phone tonight telling their wife what you do. None of that shit is a secret. You understand? Point blank, period. So while you was in there taking booty, sending men home with messed up lives, you just built you some bad karma, bro. And that's why I tell everybody, point blank, period, do like they say, treat folks how you want to be treated. Or you're going to end up like this in a different way, you know.
I'm at the door. I got over 30, 40 jobs done like that. But, it didn't. I'm the type of nigga I don't give up and fuck 'em. You put me to the test, I go out there and get my money, you know, any way I can, And I was trying to demonstrate when I got out of prison that I turned over a new leaf, you know, done with all that crime shit, you know. But I go back into it.
You can go back into what?
Crime. If I had to, I'm not gonna sit out here and I got a wife now. And yeah, that's another thing. My wife know all about this shit. I told her about it before we got married, right? And she talked to the wardens at the prison. They told her straight up all this shit is just hyped up shit coming from different sites.
Now, that is not what I was expecting, y'all. Fleece Johnson, the booty warrior, has a wife that knows all about that. Boy, she's a freak, ain't she? Can you imagine being Fleece Johnson's wife? He gets mad, rips the toilet out the bathroom, throws it at you, then rapes you. Your brother come over to take up for you because he's beating on you, and then he rapes your brother too. Man, it's real out here, man. Lord, this shit just getting crazier and crazier because I was trying to give him his props for knowingly telling these stories, trying to save the world. And then here comes Fleece coming back saying he won't mind doing some more crime if he got to. Come on, man. This is a person who is still 1 foot in because he's institutionalized. He done all them damn years. And he might just have one toe out. This is so far a weird spill. I don't know how y'all feel about this, but I was not expecting him to say he had a wife and she knew everything about that. She's brave as shit.
Trying to make money, trying to make me look like something I'm not. You know, I fucked some ass in her. I ain't gonna lie about it, but I didn't take it.
What about I'm gonna back up a little bit. What about
Hold up. He just said, yeah, he fucked some ass, but he didn't take it. Okay, so now I'm confused. Was that shit you said on MSNBC, was that all fiction? Like, did you write that story? Or are you really the booty warrior taking something? Now, was you just a jailhouse freak, or were you the booty warrior? That's why I'm confused right now, because he just said he got him some booty in a joint, but he didn't take it. So we got to keep going now to see what's really going on.
the type of struggles you had? Uh, you told me a story about them taking you down to the basement where Death Row was.
Man, let me tell you this. I'm glad you brought this up. Eddyville, they segregation system. That's what we call the whole segregation. That's where you go when you get a disciplinary report inside the prison where you done misbehave and the guards come to you like out here on the street, they put you in jail. In there, they put you in the whole segregation when you do a wrong or something violating the rules. They put me in segregation. I don't even know if I want to talk about this shit for real. It kind of pissed me off. Fuck it, I'll talk about it. I was the only inmate in there that stood up against them. I'm not going to sit down and tolerate a lot of disrespect. Feeding me any way you want to feed me and treating us the way you want to treat us. When we go take showers, all the towels and stuff is dirty and they stink. All this shit. So they locked me up one day, put me in the hole, and they put me in a cell that was leaking water. I mean, the floor was just covered with water. So I called the guard. I said, can you put me in a better cell? I said, there was some cells empty on my way to this cell. He said, no. I said, can I speak to a lieutenant? He said, lieutenant's busy. So I started hollering, lieutenant, screaming it. Some motherfuckers gonna come up here and get me out of this cell, right? Lieutenant come up here. So he claimed that I was disturbing the walk. Told me, turn around, be handcuffed. So they took me off 11 and 12 walk all the way down to 15 walk. That's one of the electric chairs there. Down there, you got rats come up through the hole in the toilet. That's how nasty it is down there. You be sitting in your cell, and a rat will come up through the toilet.
Hey, I feel him on that. Nobody wants to be put in a cell that's flooded out. I talk about being in the shoe. The hole in Beaumont in the feds, they had showers inside of the cell. All of them leaked, and what that caused was ants to come in from outside. Ants, roaches, and gnats. So we would have water on the floors constantly. It would back up from the drains, so it would smell. Honest to God, your showers, as soon as you turn them on, they smell like semen and urine, because that's the two things probably going down them, and the drains barely work. Disgusting. The very first shoe cell they put me in was exactly opposite of his. It was a dry cell, no water, no toilet, no shower, and I was still covered in blood and everything like this. But what he's talking about made me laugh. He's gonna call the lieutenant and get some get right. Unless you're a high-powered inmate, which maybe he was because he had so much time, I've never seen calling the rank do any good. The rank's never going to go against his officer. He's never going to admit that they're wrong. Nothing. He's just going to make the situation a little bit worse for you. So by Fleece doing that, that's a little strange move for an OG convict. It just shows he's probably a little bit on the aggressive side, on the violent side, probably a little half-ass mental that you're even gonna call a lieutenant and then he send you down to a different range. But see, we talk about. I got a story in on this channel about a man that just made one comment in Texas prisons. Instead of taking him to the bottom range, they took him to the Trinity River and tried to kill him. He shot one of the guards and drowned Warden Wallace Peck right there in the river. So please don't be complaining too bad about rats coming up in your toilet because that happens in our general population prisons. My first night on Beat 01, I looked up and rats was running up there eating my commissary. That's just normal here. Let's keep going.
Yeah, a rat. And the toilet is set in a square brick block. They got a brick wall around the toilet, square brick wall. So when you sit on it, your feet will be flat out like that. You know. So I'm not gonna sit on this motherfucker cause the toilet is all green and shit on the inside. And it's still like that right now. So I get over in a squat and shit, you know. But when they put me in that cell, he said I disturbed the wall. So the policy back in was 4 point, 4 point restraint. I mean, strip you down naked, change your arms and your legs to a steel bed, naked. And it's supposed to be for 3 hours. Well, down there in the wintertime, it's about 100 degrees. It's the summertime, so you can imagine how hot it was. So I'm laying down there. I went on there and put me in 4 point restraint, butt naked on the bed. I started sweating real bad. So I said, fuck it. I'm made, aggravated, so I go to sleep. Something woke me up. And it was about 500 flies buzzing in the crack of my ass, bro. Flies. Felt like I had a vibrator in my goddamn ass, right? So I'm pissed. If you move, they go deeper.
Hold up, man. Hold up. Now, this is one of the coldest jailhouse struggles I've ever heard of in my life right here. Did y'all hear what he said? 4 point restraint is something that they'll do in the federal system. I think I even have a video about that. It's basically last last resort. You fighting them, you causing problems, you did something to them they don't like. Hell, you can look at them ugly and they decide to put you in them, you're going in them. Fleece just said he was tied down, 4 point restraint, butt naked, with 500 flies in his booty crack, and it felt like he had a vibrator in him. Say, man, this dude is nuts, man. What can I say? He's something else. But this got to be the worst jailhouse struggle I ever heard of in my life, and he's sitting there talking about it. 500 flies in your ass crack. Wow, Fleece. You might be a warrior.
I say, fuck his shit. I'm going to get him back. You know, cause where I come from, you always get your lick back. You know, we don't let situation get out of the way unless we get our lick back. So when I came up out of the hole after dealing with them flies, I'm feeling like something died in me, bro. So I come back up on the wall. They took me out and put me back in a regular cell.
I said, I'm gonna get every one of these motherfuckers back. So I'm the one that invented the shit wash in Kentucky State Penitentiary. It was due to that disrespect that they brought to me. So I was taking 3 gallon buckets, filling it up with shit, 2 cans of Magic Shade, and some glass, broken glass. So when I throw it on them and they try to rub it off of them, they just be smearing it on them, and the glass gonna cut into them, and the Magic Shade gonna take their hair out, make them think they caught a disease or something. Right? It's a psychological thing.
Oh yeah, did y'all hear that? He said he'd take a bucket. Since they put him 4 point naked with the flies in his ass, he would take a bucket, doo doo and piss in the bucket, and then put magic shave, which will burn the hell out of you if you don't know what that is. Magic shave will burn you with crushed glass in it and throwing it on those guards. But I'm gonna be honest with you, everything that he just got through telling us when this video started about him saying that he never really took ass, that all of that was a scared straight program and everything. I'm gonna have to go on and call this one a bluff. You're full of shit, booty warrior. Especially now that I realize you were in Kentucky. I can't imagine too many redneck, hillbilly country, Kentucky mountain boys, whatever the hell they are, letting you do that more than one time. Think about that. You throw shit and piss and glass on one of my coworkers, me knowing I'm next. You think I'm just gonna let you do it to me? That's a damn good way to find yourself hung in a cell. That's a damn good way to find yourself accidentally tripping down the stairs every fucking time you come out shackled. That's a good way to have them shit and piss in your fucking food as they give it to you. You understand? You're playing with these people. One thing you don't do is go to McDonald's, talk shit to the person cooking your food, right? Imagine throwing shit and piss on the people that serve you your food every day. The very smallest thing that would have happened to him was they got him back every single day. The worst that would have happened, they would have killed the man. Fleece Johnson would be dead trying that more than one time. Now, I give it to you. One time, you might get away with it in Texas and you're going to the hole for the rest of your fucking life. You're never again coming out on population. You're going to be behind a steel fucking door and you won't do that twice. No matter how it turns out, putting that glass in there, you ain't going to do it twice. No, last year, an officer got splashed, a ranking officer. I won't say what prison because I don't want to give him away. A ranking officer, female, got splashed. And you better believe within about 15 minutes, the fucking goon squad was in there stomping that goddamn inmate out. I mean, he's missing teeth, broken bones, all kind of shit. Yes, he got the splasher. Fucking right, he got punished for it too. Will he ever do it again? Maybe, because people are fucking crazy. Hey, when I was a kid, I knew another kid that stuck his finger in a pencil sharpener and sharpened it. Then men cut their own penises off. Sometimes people do shit no matter what the repercussion is. But I'm here to say I think you full of shit, Fleece, because I believe you'd be a dead man if you done that more than one time in a southern prison. In the old days, for sure.
I'm gonna fight you back. So I started that, and that shit took off and went into 6 years of it. All the inmates joined in, and we got to the point where the guards couldn't even come on the wall. They used to call me and ask me, "Police, can I come on the wall and feed everybody?" I said, "Yeah, if you give everybody 2 trays." Sometimes I say 3 trays. If not, don't even come on this wall. We're gonna shit you down, right? And so they kept complaining to the lawmakers in Frankfurt, and the lawmakers were telling them, "You work there at your own consent, right? You know, that's part of the job, right?" And they wouldn't do nothing for them. So this why I went on for 6 months. I mean 6 years, and then they finally caved in and made it a felony. Yeah, if you throw shit or spit on the guard, it's a felony. You go into court. I'm done. Everybody else, some of them was done. Some of them said, fuck it, kept.
All right, man. So Big Bad Booty Warrior threw shit, piss, and glass and magic save on the police for 6 fucking years. He dictated how many trays they get on the walk, and they had to ask him for permission to come on down. Say, man, this shit is now getting comical. This is him trying to clean up that rapist shit, and now he was a gorilla. Man, cut the bullshit out, Fleece. You would have did better just keeping your gun fucking job wherever you work, married to your woman, and just leaving the good deeds you did to the world as it was, my man. The respect that I had for you when this first started, when you admitted why you done it, don't make me lose that shit coming out with these bullshit stories, Fleece, because there's going to be convicts watching this shit too. There ain't no goddamn way in hell in a Kentucky prison for 6 years you told the laws what to feed you and when to feed you, brother. That's pure cap right there. And we'll keep going.
Going, right? It was our only way to let them know you got all the billy clubs, taser guns, electric shields. We got shit. Fight that. We got something to fight you back with, right? So after all that shit went down, that's when I about a couple of years later, well, months, not years, months. I threw that boiling bleach.
Boiling.
Yeah, this motherfucker, he made a warden, and he's nasty. And all the inmates is afraid of him, and he made warden just being a nasty, rotten ass motherfucker. And when he came by my cell, I threw that 5-gallon bucket of bleach in his face. After I done boiled it for 4 or 5 hours.
Mm.
Get the fuck out of here, man. You ain't my warden. And he went into a hospital. He stayed in there 18 months getting skin grafts.
All righty. So Fleece threw a fucking 5-gallon bucket of boiling bleach on a warden, and he's still alive. He made parole, y'all. Think about it. He threw shit on them for 6 years, dictated their food, threw boiling bleach in a warden's face, flipped the chairs up, he said, and still made parole. Boy, your acting ain't as good as it used to be, Fleece, because it's sounding real iffy, man. Let's keep going. But I know what'll happen if you throw bleach in a Texas warden's face. That's aggravated assault. 99 motherfucking years if you live past tomorrow. How about that?
And shit. And at the same time, I'm still fighting them on all other levels. I'm gonna let my man take over because shit get me frustrated for real. I'm letting him tell me, direct me right here because I'm getting frustrated, and just to talk about this shit is to relive it, and to relive it is to all your bitterness and frustration comes right back out, and my whole day be fucked up.
I can agree with that. I'm gonna stop that right now. That came from a channel called Hustler Spirit, I believe is what it's called. Let me make sure. I don't want to just take everything from him like that. There's still more to it. But Fleece just said something real crucial and real important. I wish Larry could see this too. He'd laugh his ass off. But what he said about how talking about it brings it up, relives and shit like that, that's the reason why I don't make as many videos as I used to, man. I was real enthusiastic. How Fleece Johnson came out telling all them stories, trying to help the kids and help the world. Same reason I came out telling losing stories, stories about getting jumped, stories about being hungry, stories when shit didn't go right. Because I knew telling the good stories, the wannabe shot caller stories like the other dudes, just just glamorizing this shit wasn't gonna do it. And that's the one thing I'm gonna give Fleece credit for. When he did his MSNBC shit, he didn't glamorize it at all. He talked it up. He scared people. He did what he was supposed to do, man. And whether any of that shit was true or not, and I'm here to believe I don't think none of it was. I think he just was a guy that did his time and like boys, probably kept him a girlfriend or boyfriend or whoever he could get in the prison, whether it be a staff or inmate. Like he said, it didn't matter to him. But he did do a good thing with that MSNBC, that lockup raw shit, scaring so many people. I believe he would have did better for the world and earned himself some better karma by just leaving it how it was. It's not really important what the entire world thinks about you. Not at all. I don't care what anybody says. I don't give a fuck how big your platform is. I don't give a goddamn how vocal your fucking haters are. None of their opinion really fucking matters. The man or woman that you're sleeping with, that you're committed to, your children, your parents, your family, the people that you work with, I'm really the only ones that give a fuck, that should even, thank you, grandma, that should even matter to you. You know what I mean? That's why prison is such a fucked up world, because people come in there feeling the need to impress people. You understand? If 1 or 2 bids in, you still feel like you got something to come and prove. An older man hitting the unit, he probably don't feel that same way. Hope to God, I never feel that as an older man. Felt it in my 20s. I felt it in my 30s. Shit like that. I don't want to feel it in my 40s or 50s to be able to compare how it feels. But I know I see them come in with a different mentality. They're past that age of having to act tough, and their bids are a lot easier. A lot of this shit is us doing it to ourselves. And Fleece, man, I wish you the best, brother. I hope you stay free. You said you even willing to go do crime if you want to, man. Fuck that shit. Don't do it. Stay fast. Stay the course. Keep that woman that you love if you love her. Hope you do. Hope she loves you. And just do your thing, man. Fuck what people think about you out here. And just realize that there are some of us, all the exaggerating cap, all that bullshit, we're willing to overlook all of that because you did that first one, man. True or not, you helped that world with that little documentary. And stop saying they put you in a negative light, brother. They put you in a necessary light. And I'll be damned if this didn't happen to be negative, because there's not too many positive things about prison. And much love to everybody. Y'all do me a favor. Y'all hit that thumbs up if you're watching. Hit it before you go. Share this video out to your Facebook for me. If y'all are Facebookers, type in Tim Snow, TIMSNO. Follow me on Facebook. Come participate. We got a Texas Prison Stories group with about 1,500 members. That's a bunch of fun, a bunch of funny memes, all kind of shit. So just come support the movement, y'all. Much love from Tim Snow. My daughter, baby girl, Ella Rose. We love y'all, man.